Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Meghana Vaidya from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Bengaluru, from the Department of Basic Science, CSC branch. Now I am going to discussing about the subject is Introduction to Civil Engineering. In this subject, the subtopic is Urban Air Pollution Management. Air pollution. Air pollution occurs when harmful or excessive quantities of substances, including gases, particulates, and biological molecules, are introduced into Earth's atmosphere. It may cause diseases, allergies, and also death of humans. It may also cause harm to other living organisms, such as animals and food crops, and may damage the natural or built environment. Human activity and natural processes can both generate air pollution. Types and sources of air pollution. Pollutants are toxic substances emitted to the atmosphere. Two categories of pollutants, primary air pollutant and secondary air pollutant. Now, the primary air pollutant, harmful substance that is emitted directly into the atmosphere, and the secondary air pollutant, harmful substance formed in the atmosphere when a primary air pollutant reacts with a substances found in the atmosphere or with other air pollutants. And the major air pollutants here, the air pollutants are particulate matter, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, carbon oxides, hydrocarbons, ozone, and in the table composition and whether it is a primary or secondary and its characteristics are there. Now the particulate matter, in the particulate matter, dust, lead, sulfuric acid is there, and the nitrogen oxides, nitrogen dioxide is there, and sulfur oxides, sulfur dioxide, carbon oxides, carbon monoxide and dioxide, hydrocarbons, methane and benzene, and its composition and whether it is primary or secondary and its characteristics are there. Please note down that. Urban air pollution. Smog, example Los Angeles above. Brownish orange has formed by chemical reactions involving sunlight, nitrogen. Formation of photochemical smog in this diagram. It will show urban air pollution. The main sources of urban air pollution are combustion of fossil fuels and industrial activities. Air pollution in urban areas can be discussed in terms of outdoor air pollution and indoor air pollution. Outdoor air pollution involves exposures that take place outside of the built environment. Indoor air pollution involves exposures to particulates, carbon dioxide, and other pollutants carried by indoor air or dust. Sources of outdoor air pollution. Two main sources transportation, industry, international forest fires is also high. Indoor air pollution. Outdoor pollutants can make its way indoors. Indoor pollutants can be 5 to 100x greater than outdoors. Most common pollutants are major classes of air pollutants particulate material, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, carbon oxides, hydrocarbons, and ozone. First one particulate material. Thousands of different solids or liquid particles suspended in air. Example solid particles, soot, lead, asbestos, sea salt, and sulfuric acid droplets effects may contain material with toxic or carcinogenic effects. Extremely small particles can become lodged in lungs. Nitrogen and sulfur oxides. Nitrogen oxides sources gases produced by the chemical interactions between atmospheric nitrogen and oxygen at high temperature, and their problems greenhouse gases can cause respiratory problems. Sulfur oxides sources gases produced by the chemical interactions between sulfur and oxygen, combustion of fossil fuels. Example coal and industrial processes. Example metal ore smelting. Carbon oxides and hydrocarbons. Carbon oxides. Sources combustion of fossil fuels to produce carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, and their problems. Greenhouse gases. Hydrocarbons. Sources diverse group of organic compounds that contain only hydrogen and carbon. Problems some are related to photochemical smog and greenhouse gases. Ozone. Secondary air pollutant component of photochemical smog, essential component that screens out ultraviolet radiations in the upper atmosphere. Man-made pollutants like CFCs can deplete the ozone layer. Effects of air pollution. Respiratory diseases, including asthma and changes in lung function. Cardiovascular diseases. Adverse pregnancy outcomes, such as preterm birth and even death. And the pollutants are particulate, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxides, carbon monoxide, and ozone. And its source and effects. Particulate. First one, particulate, and this source. Industries, electric power plants, motor vehicles, construction, agriculture. And that affects, aggravates respiratory illness. Long term exposure may cause increased incidence of chronic conditions such as bronchitis and linked to heart disease, suppresses the immune system. Some particles such as heavy metal and organic chemicals may cause cancer or other tissue damage. Nitrogen oxides. Motor vehicle industries heavily fertilized farmland and its effect irritate respiratory tract, aggravate respiratory conditions such as asthma and chronic bronchitis. Sulfur oxides. Electric power plants and other industries irritate respiratory tract. Some respiratory tract aggravate respiratory conditions such as asthma and chronic bronchitis. Sulfur oxides, electric power plants and other industries. And the effect is irritate respiratory tract, same effects as particulates. Carbon monoxide, its source is motor vehicles, industries, fireplaces. And its effect is reduces blood's ability to transport oxygen, headache and fatigue at lower levels, mental important or death at high levels. And ozone, its source is formed in atmosphere, secondary air pollutant. Irritates eyes, irritates respiratory tract and produces chest discomfort and aggravates respiratory conditions such as asthma. The air pollution human health risk depends on the following factors: concentration of the pollutant, dose response relationship for a range of susceptible groups, the number of people exposed to the pollutant, duration of exposure, dose response of normal and asthmatic objects. For sulfur dioxide, asthmatic subjects can be affected by the concentrations higher than 200 ppb, while normal subject can be affected by doses more than 4000 ppb. Fighting urban air pollution. Raising awareness of urban air pollution, use of green energy to reduce the emission of pollutant, introduction of environmental protection acts, reforestation, and ban the use of ozone depleting pollutants. Thank you.